Hello. Oh,
Hello, beautiful.
can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
All right. Well, hello. Bonjour, woman entrepreneur. And by the way, bonjour simply means good day. And for me, that's more of a, let's say, a positive setup for your mind and for your mood. And it is for mine as well, because every time I say it, I get that feedback. So think about it. If you hear good day throughout the day, then what does it propel you to do, right? To have a good day, right? All right. So let me take a minute, just a brief minute to just show a little bit of gratitude for Haley and this 3-day summit. It has been impactful, enlightening, informative. I mean, we learned about financing and weight loss and gratitude, agile thinking, becoming a speaker, marketing. We also heard words like intentional and awareness, right? And about me, self. So it was just been a bowl of good stuff all around. So right now we're going to talk about you. That's right. We've been talking about you all day long, which means that for our moment, our next 30 minutes is I'm going to request verbal responses. So we're not going to chat. I'm going to ask you to unmute and I'm going to ask you to voice. So right now I need 5 people to unmute really quickly and tell me how your soul is feeling today.
My soul is feeling so wonderfully hopeful.
That's 1.
Tired.
2.
Megan doesn't have a mic, but she said her soul is tired today.
Okay.
My soul feels full.
Okay. 1 more.
Peaceful.
Thank you so very much. Now, I asked that question because you, that's right, you, Haley, you, Coach Ida, you, Tiff, you are the root and the center of everything you do and every result you receive. You are the difference between life happening to you and life happening for you. So your soul often is what gets attacked. That's what often gets weighted down. That's what gets often, from the lack of action that you take sometimes, or too much action that you take. Your soul can be disconnected and your soul can feel like it's just out of place, out of sorts. So I just need you to understand that your soul plays a huge role in where you go from here. So when your vision is a little bit blurry, and when you cannot define, or when your purpose is not in agreement with your actions, your soul suffers. Your soul becomes tired, right? We've heard that. The overwhelm, the frustration. Yeah, sometimes it feels full, but full of good stuff or full of not so good stuff, right? So that leads to you having no rhythm and no flow. It leads to you showing up less and less for yourself. It leads to being unsuccessful at attempts in living life on your own terms, and your soul can oftentimes get empty. So in our time together today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you so we can talk and look at some pretty pictures for a moment. Okay. So in our time together today, I am going to share with you how your mind, your body, and your spirit can be in rhythm and in harmony. Now, rhythm means movement or pattern. And in harmony means the process of things working together. So I need you to write that down, rhythm and harmony. Okay, so if you haven't guessed it yet, you are going to need something to write on and write with. And if you have a mirror, we're going to be using our mirror as well. So go ahead and write down rhythm and harmony. In our time together today, I'm also going to share with you how to consistently show up for you and by you. You see, we've heard it before. Okay, we've heard it before. Consistency is key. But how many of us in this room are consistently inconsistent? Write that down. Consistency. And in our time together, I am also going to share with you how your imagination can open up possibilities for you, that life can happen for you. Write that down, possibilities. And we will circle back to those words in a moment. Trust me, and trust the journey that we are going on within the next 30 minutes. And so I promise that by the end of our moment today, you will know exactly what steps that you need to take for clarity, definition, and purpose. Because the frustration that your soul feels, we want to remove all that. The fullness that it feels, we want to make sure that it's all good stuff. We want to be fulfilled and we want better results, right? So can somebody open their mics and say, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I've already asked you for two things, something to write on, something to write with, as well as grabbing your mirror. So let's get going. How many of you have ever played the game Imagination? You can show your hands, or you can scream out. That's fine too. And if you haven't, that's okay, because today you get to participate. That's right. So right now, I just need you to get comfortable in your seat. Close your eyes for me. And we're going to go ahead and roll our shoulders back. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to roll our shoulders forward. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to go ahead and roll our heads around. 1, 2, and 3, and then roll it the other way. 1, 2, and 3. Now back to center. Well done. Well done. Now with your eyes still closed, we're going to start the game of imagination. 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 Now imagine, if you will, what your life would be like if you had clarity in almost everything you did. Everything. I mean, it falls in line with, what would you do if you couldn't fail? Right? Picture it. Picture that one thing that you would dare do. What does that picture look like? What would that picture look like getting it done? Like, for example, I know Ida just wrote a book. She got it done, but she was waiting for a while to get to it. Couldn't fail. Picture that. And then I need you to understand that the benefits that you're going to receive for getting that thing done. The project, the summit that Haley's been preparing, and now it's here. So hold that vision. Next, I want you to imagine, if you will, the levels of success that you would reach if you could reduce your anxiety that comes from being overwhelmed, tired, and frustrated. Picture the level of success. What is that level? Is it just taking a step? Just putting one foot in front of the other? That's huge. Like the young lady that spoke before, she said she just started running and then started to feel good. What would that look like for you if you reach your level of success? I mean, you're there, you know, whether it's relationship, commitment, a promise that you made to yourself a while back. You finally got there. You finally took the chance. You finally made it to the next level. And now, just look. Can you see it? You're being honored and you're being acknowledged for getting it done. Go ahead and strike a pose and smile, because somebody just snapped your picture. That's right. Click, click. Now imagine, if you will, creating a force around your goals and your dreams. Anything that can remove life's distraction. What is that valuable goal? And what is that priceless dream? Now go ahead and open your eyes. I'd like for you to take a moment to write down what it is that you dared to do. What it is what level of success that you reached. And that dream and that goal, what is that? I wanted to start off today by preparing you to walk with your eyes wide open and your heart wide open. I wanted to start this afternoon to share to share in the imagining your possibilities. For most of you, this is where it all began. And for the rest of you, this is what you've been waiting on to move forward. A little nudge. Either way, you are here at WEN Summit 2022. Now, a little bit about me, because I know you're probably wondering, well, who is this woman and why is she telling me to close my eyes, open my eyes, and imagine? Let me properly introduce myself. My name is Myrtha Dubois. I am a certified personal development strategist. I am an author coach. I am an international best-selling author multiple times, businesswoman, entrepreneur, CEO, visionary. I have been in corporate for 30 plus years, and my focus has been in process improvement, implementation, time management, and systems, all of which I use today in my business and how I connect with others. Now, this slide is very important to me. It sheds light on my accomplishments. Please know that it is not intended to impress you, but rather to impress upon you that I, Myrtha Dubois, am setting up my soul for winning. That I am meant to live life on my own terms, and that I, Myrtha Dubois, am undeniable. This slide should serve as your reminder, Tiff, your reminder, Ida, your reminder, Meg, that you too are meant for more and that you are undeniable. Look in the mirror and say that I am undeniable. Grab your mirror. Where is it? I know it's here. I am undeniable and I am meant to live on my own terms. Now, I'm going to go ahead and share my story. I was born in a town named Jacmel, and that's on the island of Haiti. Now, Jacmel means the city of lights, and by memory, and it will always be known to me for its vibrant colors, its beautiful beaches, and its culture. All in all, Haiti is statistically the poorest country in Latin America, as beautiful as it looks on screen. It is constantly in turmoil with itself, constantly in turmoil with others. And if you do not take charge, which Haiti hasn't, right? It is always fighting. And that reminds me of, that's just like our souls when it's not settled, right? We are constantly in turmoil, constantly fighting ourselves and each other, one another. And we end up losing big time. Being exposed to the mess of a lifestyle in Haiti, I started to imagine having something different, right? The imagination, the possibilities. Could there be something different for me? Or more importantly, how can I make a difference? My father must have been reading my mind because he moved me to the United States, New York City to be exact. Yep, the Big Apple. So my journey began. I had to learn the language, I had to learn the culture, I had to learn the laws. In other words, I had to start to invest in me. Now, sisterpreneurs, I need you to write this down. I want different, so I have to make an investment in self. And then look in the mirror and repeat that out loud. Say it. I want different, so I have to start to make an investment in self. So here I am in my new space. I'm young and I'm sexy and I'm ready to take over the world, or so I thought. How many of you can relate, right? You took a few small steps here and there. You did a little bit of homework here and there, and now you believe you got things under control. You are running it. You feel in control. But I felt so much in control that I got pregnant, which led to a marriage of inconvenience, which led to 3 children later, which led me to playing house with a full-time job, work projects, meetings I wasn't prepared for, after-school activities, homework, housework, wife duties. Woo! Can you say stress, overwhelm, and frustration? My soul was tired. Lesson 1, you are not in control of anything, but you can take charge of everything. Fast forward a few years more, and I say yes, a few years, because us women entrepreneurs, we think we can change the game. No, we don't want to learn the game. We don't want to perfect the game. We want to change the game. So we stay in places and we hold on to people longer than we have to. Yep. Anybody? Please tell me I'm not the only one.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
We stay too long. So anyways, I was at a point in my life that I had to make some decisions, right? We've all been there. Most of you know what I'm talking about. You just cannot continue to do the same thing expecting a different result. We've heard that. So lesson 2 is if you want to play the game, you have to identify the game, right? You can't play checkers if you're thinking chess, right? So you got to identify the game. You have to learn the rules, and you have to actively participate, not just show up once in a while. In other words, you have to make a decision. You have to commit to that decision, and then you have to take the necessary steps that you have, and you have to take them in a certain order, because you just can't take different steps, different times of the day and expect, oh my goodness, it's just going to work out according to how you want it to work out. So it reminds me of how a baby comes into this world, right? He or she has to develop into adulthood. Well, the same is said for those of you coming out of a place that wasn't for you. It's the same for those of you who has been living and operating behind the titles of the people that you serve, like the misses and the moms, right? And the office title. So we live behind those names, and we operate out of those names, but that's not who we are. It's the same for those of you, right? As a result of coming out of the place that wasn't for you and operating behind the titles of the people you serve, that you have lost your own identity. You must now learn, develop into the person you need to be to live life on your terms and become undeniable you. And as of this moment, this very moment, you must take charge. Are we taking control? Absolutely not. But we're going to take charge. Look in the mirror and say that out loud. I must take charge. Because listen, we have all been through storms in our lives, failed marriages, crippling divorces, being the black sheep of the family, bad relationships, having lack, unsuccessfully managing our finances. But you are here today because you had to make a decision and pivot in your life, make a pivot in your life. So I'm here to tell you, go ahead and dust yourself off right now. Go ahead, let's dust ourselves off, right? Because we are going to start where we are. We're going to use what we have, and we're going to do what we can effectively immediately. This is your notice. That's why I stopped by today. And you must be saying, okay, well, why? Well, because contrary to popular beliefs, storms do not come to destroy your life, your dreams, or your plans. Storms come to restore your faith, direct your steps, and clear your path. And you, that's right, you, Leslie, you, Meg, you have an assignment to complete. You need to get to the other side of impossible. Now, I stopped by today to tell you that you are undeniable. Therefore, it is time to live life on your own terms, and that is period. And you're saying, okay, well, Myrtha, how? How do I become this undeniable me after going through a storm like I went through? Well, I'm glad you asked. Thank you very much. You first have to start with intentional breathing. That's right. What happens oftentimes, we are caught in a storm and our souls are overwhelmed trying to play catch up. We start sucking up air way too fast. We end up breathing from our chest and we feel we are out of time. That's what desperation does, right? Desperate people do desperate things. But in this moment, when you are in that moment, it is time for you to step back. It is time for you to gain clarity. It is time for you to breathe intentionally. So if you can, go ahead and inhale through your nose slowly and deeply, taking in the power that you have not yet unleashed and all the possibilities that come with it. I need you to hold your breath in for just a few seconds, okay? Allowing every inch of your body to be filled with goodness, allowing the oxygen to fill your lungs and the blood to run through your body. Now, when I say breathe, I need you to breathe through your mouth. Let's go. Breathe boldly and completely, releasing all the toxins and all the things that have been weighing you down, all the lack and all the doubt. You see, I need you to practice this regularly throughout the day, even if you have to pull over to the side of the road, right? And so speaking of roads, let's move on to our senses. There are 5 of them. Now I need you to think about emotions. That's the result of our senses. Our senses are all about emotions. You see, what we receive is what is how we react. So what we receive is how we react. So if your soul is not happy, your reaction will not be productive, and your life is now happening to you instead of for you. Are you getting this? Are we good? Okay. If your emotions are left unregulated, then your life as you live it remains unclear, undefined, and unattainable. Okay, so your senses support your behavior. You can go ahead and write that down too, because I think that's a good thing there. So let's start with C. The imagination game was about seeing what you believe. So often we're meant to believe in what we see. So I need you to identify what you see in your surroundings. What is your vision? What is the vision that you have for yourself? Next is to hear. Now, who are you listening to? And what do you listen to every day on a regular? Has that been working out for you? Are you moving towards your undeniable life? If you're saying yes, then that's great. But if it's not, then you know what? You need to get those noise canceling headsets until you can move to an environment where you hear actually things that prepare and position you for better. So hearing is about identifying the noise in the background, okay? Smell. Smell, for you science gurus who are listening to me right now, smell is about, those little particles, the little molecules that are released in the air and it enters into your nose. Some good odor leaves us feeling positive, but the bad odor leaves us feeling negative. So your job is to identify what you smell and what is that smell around you? Is it pleasing? Next, touch. This could be the cure to regulating your emotions. The sense of touch has a way of reducing the stress level associated with feeling overwhelmed and frustrated. It improves your social skills and it helps you effectively communicate your needs. And right now, when I say effectively, the best way I can describe that is for you, and we're all grown-ups here, think of you when you're intimate, when you're in that sexual way about you, right? That's the touch. So you must identify who is touching you. Why are they touching you? Does that touch give you an orgasm or does it leave you feeling unsatisfied? All right, let's talk about taste. Now, the sense of taste is about identity. When we have not tried a particular food, we always ask, does this taste, what does that taste like? People say, oh, it tastes like chicken, it tastes like this, it tastes like that. That's when we decide, are we gonna try it, right? And then, if we prefer, and if we taste it, but we don't like it, we might not like it. But what happens when you like the taste, but it doesn't agree with you, with your body? It's not a good feeling, is it? So do you continue to eat what makes you sick, right? So the sense of taste is for you to be selective and choose the people and things that keep you feeling well, not sick, okay? So eating. Now, eating is all about the health of the brain and the health of your body. This is about who provides the nutrients you need so that you can use that energy to go out there and do what you can do so you can receive what you need, so you can win, right? Every single day. If you don't have energy, you're sluggish, you're not doing much, so you're not getting nowhere. So whatever you do, whatever you're eating, make sure that it's yummy and it gives you what you need. So now let's talk a little bit about the stages that you go through as you prepare and are positioned to live life on your own terms to become undeniable you. Crawling. Now, nationwidechildren.org says this is the first step of when children claim their independence. And I agree. Just think of a baby. Once they learn how to crawl, it's game on. They are moving fast. I mean, they're getting in and out of things within seconds, right? But I want to pause here for a moment because I want you to take notice that the baby starts to crawl before he or she can walk. I'm going to pause here for a moment to ask that you give yourself some grace because people around you, you don't know if they are in the crawling stage or the walking stage or this. It's okay where you start, right? I want to pause here for a moment to remind you that you are not in the race to get there first. No, you are on a marathon to simply get there. You see, crawling and marathon commonalities is about strength, it's about improvement, it's about circulation, and it establishes how you do all things. This is where it starts. The next stage is about standing. You see, standing allows you to explore. Explore is about learning about self. It opens up your vision so that you can become what you want to become. Remember, seeing what you believe. The next stage is about walking. Now, walking is all about balance. See, when you step one foot forward, the other foot has to hold you up before the other one comes back down. It's balance. So walking prompts you to create your rhythm, and it also helps to build your momentum. The next stage is about running. Now, when you are here, woman entrepreneur, and when you are here, sisterpreneur, and when you are here, queen, you are no longer hearing noise, right? So that noise canceling headset, go ahead and throw it away. Because all those naysayers, you don't hear them anyway, right? You are staying in tune. Running sets you where you can hear the wind. And the wind is a source of positive energy. It's all about momentum and it's all about what's ahead of you, not behind you. Your focus is forward. It's all about you being in the know. It's all about you being determined and staying in the game. You are playing the game. You're not changing the game because you are now enhancing the game. So you've learned the rules. You've identified the game and now you're just playing it. You're playing it your way. You're playing it to win. You're playing it to succeed. So see, my point to sharing these development of that of a child is in life, you may feel like a foreigner in your own skin. You will be at war with yourself. You're beating yourself up, sometimes for no reason at all. And you may get hit storm after storm, pushing you further and further back instead of further and further ahead. But I want you to know that you are called, you are chosen, and like me, you are undeniable. Now, understand that everything happens, is going to happen from this moment forward in your relationship, in your community, in your finances, in your faith, in your mental and physical space. Everything that happens starts with who? Can we point to self? Starts with you. Doesn't it make sense to scale you for all the areas of your life, personal or business-wise? Of course it does. Know this, you will never be ready. No one's ever ready for a fire, but you can prepare for it if it happens. No one's ready for that Hurricane Ian, but guess what? We have time to prepare for it coming. And that's what sets you and everybody else apart, is the preparation. Because the key to your clarity, to defining who you are and what you want, the key to finding and understanding your purpose all starts with what you're giving to your soul. So just as a recap, I promised at the beginning that by the end of our moment today, you will know the exact steps, the exact next steps that you need for clarity, definition, and purpose. So we talked about rhythm and harmony. Those would be your steps, right? Your senses, your breathing. Those are your steps. It gives you clarity. Consistency are your stages, the walking, the crawling, the moving. Those would be your stages because it builds definition. They all build definition. We talked about purpose, and that would be you, right? Once you are positioned, your possibilities open up and they are endless. Again, my name is Myrtha Dubois. And what I do is prepare and position women entrepreneurs to live life on their own terms with clarity, definition, and purpose. It's all about start where you are, which is identifying who you are and knowing what you want. It's about using what you have, which we talked about, use the proper tools and taking charge of your resources. Doing what you can is about taking steps and taking them in the right order and trusting the process. The better news is that I don't do any of this alone. See, I have a built-in sisterpreneur support system, and Haley is part of that. And here we've worked together. I met Haley online, and since then, we haven't been separated. It's about, the individuals that I've worked with, right? Talking about leadership and coaching and being the example. Where Miriam says, I have been a catalyst for profound change in her life. It's about guidance. Here, Trisha Miller talks about how being, stressed and emotional and trying to balance and take control. And we just learned that it's not about control, it's about charge. And it's about walking through simple steps, clearing your head, becoming focused, doing the things that you're supposed to do in an orderly fashion. And she needed to do this. And here we have Pamela Manti, who talks about having the opportunity and the advantage to stand with me as we encourage each other and push each other to the end. You see, I do what I do because I believe that you, my sisterpreneur, you're undeniable. And you might be asked, well, Myrtha, how do you know all this, right? How do you know? Well, I wrote the book on it. Undeniable You, 7 Steps to Soar. So now I would like to offer you, I want you to unwrap this box, this box of goodies, this gift. You will have a free digital copy of my book, Undeniable You. Just the first 3 to text me right now. I think I have my phone off, but the first 3 to text me your name, and then simply write or type Undeniable. You will receive a free digital copy of my book. But wait, there's more. Because the first 3 that text me, I will also extend a 3-hour course offering you personal guidance to clarity, definition, and purpose. Now, this is valued at $197 per hour times 3. You do the math, but I'm offering it to you today for only $197 for all 3 hours. Perfect. So take advantage. And for this one, you will have to simply Zelle $197 to Myrtha at myrthadubois.com and comment. I think there's a section for notes. You can comment Undeniable and put your name and your phone number, and I will be in touch. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for the moment. And Haley, thank you again for the platform.
Thank you. Thank you for this powerful, magnetic, superb presentation. Everybody, let's